Hello everyone, this is Arvind and welcome back to the channel. So I am today here in Power Sports International at Palarivattam in Kochi. So when I came here, actually I came for something else. I came to pick up my saddlebags for the upcoming trips, which is this, the Leh saddlebags costing me around 5,000 bucks. It's got 70 liters capacity. I needed a high liter capacity because when I go for my tours, I wanted to be having maximum amount of storage so I can put maximum luggage. Plus my bike is a slightly bigger one, so I can afford to put most weight behind my back. But more importantly, when I came over here, I was introduced to a new LS2 brand gloves, as well as a small competitive gloves. To that gloves is this from the brand called Koda. So when I wore this gloves, immediately I was told that okay, this is going to be very comfortable, this is going to be super comfy, it's got a polyurethane layer inside it, so when you wear it and drive it, it's going to be very comfortable. Indeed, it is very comfortable. I don't have an issue with this. But when I wore this gloves, which is more like the natural gloves the riders across the world over wear, which is more of the leather inside it, so I thought why that this gloves I have to recommend to the motorcycling community and not this kind of a gloves. Or if I recommend this kind of a gloves, which should be the target audience or which should be the target situation. So let me just explain. This has got a very smooth layer of I would say leather on it. So you can see the layer on it is very smooth. This is 85% or 90% of goat leather, whereas this which I have here is only 65% of leather on it. So this leather, by the way, when you touch with your bare hands, you can feel it is a little more rough, whereas this is a little more smooth. Now, if I am a motorcyclist and do long distance touring, and if I meet with an accident, the way I had last year in April, so when you fall down with both these gloves, let's say I want one on my left and one on my right side, when you wear this gloves, and so when I fall with this gloves onto the ground, because it's all smooth over here, there is a tendency for the hand, because of its momentum, to slide on the ground and does not stop. Whereas this gloves, which has got a lot of hard leather on it, when it falls, the moment I put my weight on it, it starts to press onto the tarmac. But this one, the shinier one, I put my weight, it starts sliding. I put this with my weight, it doesn't slide that easily. Secondly, this sort of a gloves has got two sets of sliders. Now this is from the brand called Nox and this is from the brand called Protec. I don't have a problem with either of the brands which are internationally acclaimed for their slider quality. But the problem with this one, that is the much comfortable gloves from LS2, is that this has only got a side slider. So until unless I fall on my sides and then drag, this slider is of no much use if I fall flat on my palm. So what happens is that my the root of my thumb will come directly in contact with the ground, and if the speed is high, I have a good chance of the leather and everything tearing off at this very portion. Whereas in here, what you can observe is that there is a side slider as well as a palm slider right at the root of your thumb. So when you fall, there is a good chance that because of the presence of this palm slider, the weight would be transferred directly onto the palm slider and it would slide on the ground. Whereas this, if it falls, there has got not much of sliding or a slippery effect from the gloves end. So thereafter what happens is that if it doesn't slip in this case and it stops, then I have a tendency for my wrist to bend upwards in a 90-degree and possibly even fracture my wrist. So whenever you go looking for a motorcycle gloves, I strongly recommend that it is not just the comfort one gets by having gloves such as this. Of course, when you're riding a gloves with your gloves on, comfort is a 85% thing which always goes in your mind. I need it to be comfortable. But if comfort is all that you crave for, then actually you can ride without your gloves. It's as simple as that. It is very comfortable. But if you want to wear a gloves, there is a reason behind it, and that's safety. And if safety is the reason, if I am on a long distance touring and I am on a very high speed motorcycle, I am doing high speed touring, I would not go for the LS2 brand or any brand which comes with this kind of a setup or a material or a slider. I would rather go with this brand or this model which has got two sliders and it has got more leather, and the leather is a slightly smoother one. Big disadvantage, By the time you use it for a year, this leather would start peeling off. So in a 2 years or something like that, you will have to replace this gloves because of its use. But these kind of gloves will survive for a very longer period of time because, well, it doesn't have much of leather and it has got more cloth inside it. Now the major issue with these kind of high leather gloves, high quantity of leather in the gloves will cost you more. This kind of clothy gloves will cost you much lesser. Where do you use it then? You use it for your small breakfast rides when you are going with your buddies and you don't have to speed more than 60-70 km per hour. This when you are doing high speeds on touring highways, when you are on probably climbing your hills, probably when you are in more of tarmac situations, do use this. But this when you are not in mostly when you are not in a tarmac situation, I think you should go with this kind of a gloves. This has its target audience as well as target situation. This has its own target situation and target audience. I leave it to the world outside to decide which gloves you want to use, because your situation of motorcycling is different from my situation of motorcycling. I am more on the tarmac, on the road, in heat, on coldy weather. You might be doing more of off-roads, or you might be doing something of, I don't know, hill climbing or stuff like that where you don't have much of speeds to do. This might serve your purpose. This is what serves my purpose, this kind of gloves. So leave it to you. Choose wisely and save yourself from an accident. Bye bye.